Greetings, exalted ones. Same as always.
Hey guys, welcome back to another video. I'm Darthmore516, and in today's video I'm doing a hero guide for Luke Skywalker. Again, this is another requested one, as Luke can be sometimes a difficult hero to use, and a lot of you guys have praised my skill using him in both Galactic Assault and HVV. So I wanted to quickly do a guide for you guys. But before I touch on any real tips for Galactic Assault and HVV, for any new players out there, here are the abilities that Luke Skywalker has. So L1 is pretty basic. It's basically just force push, just pushing any enemies back, which is nice and easy. R1 is his rush, which basically he moves in any direction faster and lunges at the enemy at a quick speed. Okay, repulse, the middle ability. He basically fist pumps the ground, knocking any enemies over nearby and dealing damage. So I'll quickly demonstrate that for you just here. So that's how it goes. So anyone in the area of effect around you will basically take damage and be knocked over. So that's how that card works. So generally, what you'd want to do with Luke, regardless whether of Galactic Assault or HVV, is to always stay on the move. As you guys know, he's the second fastest in terms of speed, aside from Darth Maul, and you should be able to use his running speed to his advantage.
Use all your senses.
Sorry, I got it caught up in all the kill feeds there. Yeah, so what you'd want to do with Luke Skywalker is obviously move as fast as possible, always moving around the map, never making yourself an easy target. Whether you're in HVV or Galactic Assault, always being on the move allows you to help out your teammates by taking out any enemies that stand in your way. So that's something you really want to do there. So for heroes versus villains, what you'd really want to focus on is ensuring that you have a good mix of defense and offense, because I feel his abilities really help in terms of having a good balance between that. As he has really good health regen, so if you lose health, your health will regen back to your max health that you have left within a few seconds. So you do get it back real quick. So what I'll do is I'll let this trooper shoot me real quick, and I'll show you how quick it comes back. Come on, shoot me. Come on. God, he can't even hit me. What is this? Okay, I got health back there, but straight after that, my health came back really quickly. I know it's only a smaller amount, but once you play enough games, you'll notice it. So, yeah, so obviously one of the first recommendations is definitely having Luke's health regen star card on, regardless of whether it's HVV or Galactic Assault. Definitely Galactic Assault, because combined with his good health regen, you better get some health back really quickly, especially if you're on the back foot early, which that will help you get your health back a lot quicker. Look, personally, I don't use the health star card. I mean, I probably should, but look, I've played Luke for quite a long time and I back my defense in a lot, and if you've seen a lot of my gameplay, you'll understand why. Obviously, another thing you want to do, like Yoda, don't get caught in a spam fest too much, because his damage output generally with his lightsaber is not the highest. Like, Rey does more damage than Luke does in terms of just basic swings. So what you definitely want to do is always be on the move against any villain that you first, especially the likes of Vader, Maul and Kylo, and even Palpatine when you come across him. Use your abilities to your advantage, so knocking people over with the repulse and the force push will give you a quick edge, give you a few extra strikes in, dealing the damage you need to get started on attacking them, and hopefully from there you'll either get support from your teammates or you'll be able to maneuver around continuously and eventually get the kill. So one thing you definitely want to do, as I said, Luke has really good defense and offense as based on what his abilities can do. So often, I'm personally a bit of a counter-attacker when I play Luke, so I generally like to wait for the enemy hero or villain I mean, to make their move first. So whether Vader swings at me a couple of times first and then I counter away, I either weave either side, back or forward, and I either do one of the 3 abilities or do a few swings, because the idea is to basically think ahead of what the enemy's going to do. Like, you know that they're definitely going to swing at you, so if you weave one way straight after it, they'll start swinging that same way that you went. So if you either make another quick move, like another quick attack, so say Vader's in front of me, I block or something and I move away, and I'll do like a rush or something. He'll try to keep track of where I went, so he'll start either lunging to where I moved to, or he'll be on a defensive. So what you definitely want to try and do is, as I said, because Luke's really fast and has good abilities, what you'd want to do is be able to force the enemy villains to actually attack you. And what you'd want to do is be able to maneuver around their attacks and counter accordingly. Again, with the weaves, his abilities, it's easier to explain when you're playing, but being on the move constantly with Luke is absolute necessity if you want to be well. I've seen people... This is something I really need to point out real quick before I look at the star cards for you guys. A lot of people use Luke just to push people off the map. Again, it's what I said with just using Bo to like hide and stuff. If that's all you do with Luke, then you're at a big disadvantage, because Luke can actually do more than just push people off the map. Yes, I'll admit it's satisfying doing so, because we've all done it, including myself, but because Luke has such good defense, you can actually really use him to help defend your teammates, especially when you need to defend the target in HVV. So use the push and repulse when you need to, if you need to get people off the map as a quick kill, but don't rely solely on it to get your kills, because as I said, Luke's really fast and he can do some good damage as long as he avoids damage first. Though that's kind of what he is. Like, he's a bit like Maul, like he's fast, he can do good damage, but he has to avoid damage to do so. So that's basically how that works. So I'm going to respawn here and just have a look at some star cards, because he does have a decent selection. So the ones I use are the Epicenter, Strong Repulse, and Stronger Push. Look, because I use the Repulse quite a bit, along with the Force Push, it has a better area of effect there, and that's bonus damage. That's just because of my playstyle. I wouldn't recommend those cards for any other Luke player out there, unless you're like really good with your other abilities and your defense, where you can use Repulse to give you an extra edge. That's just me personally. This card here, the Cleansing the Darkness, is a card I'd recommend for every player, no matter how good you are with Luke Skywalker. Obviously, that's where you get your health back. Another card I'd recommend is Extended Push Reach, which basically is increased area of effect for Galactic Assault for pretty much every class except I think it's the Heavy. Luke can basically kill them with one Force Push. So if there's a group together and having an increased area of effect, you'll be able to get a few easy kills that way. Usually having 3 rushes, I feel, is really good. Okay, that's the wrong card. It's this one over here, Jedi Reflexes. You can do 1 extra rush, but the recharge time is slightly increased. So again, it's like Yoda's agility card having an extra dash, basically. I feel that's really handy getting around the map, along with getting kills, because instead of just swinging when they're going to roll, a rush helps, because if they're in the area and they're rolling, your rush with luck might still hit them, so that's really handy there. So one thing I do with that to get a kill on infantry is I usually do, like, I do this with Yoda a lot too. I'll do 1 strike and then do a rush, because if you hit them once and then you go rush straight after it, it stops them from rolling and they'll basically be dead after that. Now that one's basically taking less damage for like 3 seconds. I wouldn't recommend that one too much, really. I mean, unless you use the rush a lot, but I wouldn't recommend it. Again, these ones are up to you, but given the stamina has been fixed now, I wouldn't worry about them too much. But again, Luke's better off being always on the move, so being stuck too defensive in Galactic Assault or HOV is not always the best thing. But if you're someone who's like probably a beginner player, I wouldn't mind having Jedi Fighter. So if you're a beginner, maybe have so Cleansing the Darkness, maybe Jedi Reflexes, and maybe Jedi Fighter, for example. I'll take that card out. because this will drain less stamina for you, and if you swing a lot, like because you're trying to get used to how Luke is, then you have to deflect really quick. It's not a bad way to go to manage your stamina a little better. And this one obviously will help you get in and out of trouble, so that's pretty handy for you. And obviously with every kill, that's really important for any Luke player, as I said. So that could be a way to go for you, but again, it all depends on your playstyle with Luke. But regardless, always have the Cleanse in the Darkness card. That's the one recommendation I have for you guys, so that's a necessity. So again, as I said, it all just depends on Luke, on how you play Luke, but regardless of what you do with him, being on the move is still the best thing to do. Just gonna take a drink real quick.
I'm a Jedi, like my father.
So I've definitely covered a lot of tips already, but I'm trying to think, is there anything else to mention? So I'll show you what I mean when I do how I kill infantry. I just need to find a stormtrooper. So, okay, that guy's gonna die. So what I'll do, I'll go up here, find this guy. So I'll usually go like that. How I did it there, I went one strike then a rush. It usually stops them from being able to combat roll, because you know how annoying the roll can be, especially when you're a lightsaber hero or villain. So that's usually, I've got that from Paul Johns. If you haven't checked out his channel, go ahead and do so. He's pretty good with kill streaks, and I found that move off him, and I've used it for myself, and it's a really good move. Regardless of whether you do the rush first and then the strike, or the other way around, it's completely up to you, but that's what I'd recommend, because obviously it stops the combat roll. Look, in terms of force push card, the one where it had a greater knockback, like it pushes them further back, don't use that in Galactic Assault, because you don't need to. Like they're probably going to die within like one hit anyway, so there's no, unless you just love seeing people fly as they die, there's no point using it. But you can use it in HVV if you wish to, because obviously push people off the map, you're more likely to do that, but also push them away from the target when defending isn't a bad idea either. So again, it all just depends on your playstyle with Luke. But look, I know he said he's fast and he can do some good damage when he's avoiding damage, but don't be afraid to be on the defensive when necessary, because there's always a time to defend and there's always a time to attack. So you've got to make sure you know the difference of when to do that, and obviously really make use of the weave as often as you can, especially when you're against a lot of different villains. Even when you're like going after like Iden or boss, like I guarantee you they'll roll a lot. So if they roll away from you, doing like a weave and a dash to get closer to them isn't such a bad idea. Because like they know if they like either like just run in the same direction, they will get spammed by you. So that's something really to note there. So whether you're spamming away and they move forward, you can either dash and weave to catch up to them, because ideally you'd want to kill like the likes of Bosk and Iden before they can either get their stun off or his traps off, because a lot of Bosks who flee from a spammer, they'll chuck them down behind them wherever they're heading.
So many people depending on us.
So that's another thing to note. Obviously, as I said, when you're on the defensive, being stuck in one spot for too long is really not good.
Last chance.
So being able to either block, counter again, and weave as much as you can. So if you block, you can either you can do different things. You can weave or rush forward, do another attack. But definitely throw in some waves there, like this thing, because I think they'll really come in handy. Trying to think, is there anything else on top of my head to mention? One thing I find, look, although Luke has good defense, you still have to be very smart by how you defend. Like, I've often been outnumbered with Luke before, and you can come across Vader and then someone boba shooting you from the distance. So what you'd want to do is be able to counter both. So Vader's attacking you, but then boba shooting you from the side. You'd want to be able to counter both of them. So actually block when you need to against Vader, then weave back, get into position where you can defend Boba before you can either fend one off or like kill one of them. So again, it's important to have good defense, always be on the move, and always keep the health card on. That's basically in a nutshell, it's basically the best tip you can have. Anyways, I will link some Luke gameplay in the description for HVV and Galactic Assault, because they have some good games there. That's going to do it for the guide today. Thanks so much for watching. I hope this helps you all, and I'll see you all in the next one.
May the Force be with you, always.
The Sith are all powerful.